OutDaughtered, Adam and Danielle Busby say goodbye to their son, closing the Grayson B boutique. Adam and Danielle Busby have been through different walks of life, dealt with the extreme ups and downs, and didn't leave each other's side. Before God decided to bless them with quints, they also dealt with their infertility struggles with utmost grace and unwillingness to give up. Then, in OutDaughtered, fans also saw them have marriage troubles, but they stick with one another through thick and thin. Since the show came back on TLC after the family's hiatus, the family has been posting less on their social media. However, their recent reveal was no less than shocking. The family is on the verge of going through a very major change, and they are about to say goodbye to a big thing in their lives. What is it? As the previous OutDaughtered aired, viewers got to see some cracks in the Busby family. Adam mentioned how he was working from home first, which made things easier for the family. But as times changed, Adam had to travel a lot for new work opportunities. It made things quite hard for the family, as 5 quint daughters need looking after, and Danielle didn't know how she would be able to pull it off. There was also a discussion in the show about the two of them hiring a nanny. After all, it would help the family juggle a bit more things with ease. Apart from looking after the girls, Danielle was also running a boutique of her own, and it would also take a lot of time from her. Since these incidents that unfolded on the show, it looks like the family decided to make a major decision about their life. Adam and Danielle Busby have done their very best to give their daughters the very best life, but it's their first time handling quints, and they do falter from time to time. In the previous OutDaughtered season, they did have their fair share of troubles and had too much on their plate while managing their own personal lives and looking after their little girls. It looks like they have decided to let go of some things. In a new Instagram post, Danielle shocked everyone. She revealed that her family will be closing their Grayson B boutique. It was a major milestone for the star, as it was like having a son of her own. Grayson was a name she had picked up for one of the babies. It was before the couple had found out they would be having all girls. Hence, starting this boutique was very important for Danielle. Danielle said her intention was to build something beautiful for families, especially moms and daughters. She said that the boutique became a piece of her heart along her journey. But the star did say it wasn't the end, just the turning of a page. On the website as well, there is a huge sale going on with a 75% off discount to sell out all the items. OutDaughtered, Danielle admits bond with Grandma Mimi is uniki. She had to set boundaries. In the world of reality television, few families have captured the hearts of viewers like the Busbys. Known for their charming TLC show OutDaughtered, Danielle and Adam Busby have documented their lives as parents to America's only all-female quintuplets, along with their eldest daughter Blayke. Over the years, the show has offered a candid glimpse into the joys, struggles, and chaos of raising 6 young girls, while also showcasing the family's dynamic relationships with each other and their extended family. One relationship in particular has stood out for both its closeness and its complications: the bond between Danielle Busby and her mother, Michelle Theriot, affectionately known as Grandma Mimi. For years, viewers have seen Grandma Mimi play an active and supportive role in the Busby household, from helping with the children to lending a hand during health scares and business ventures. Mimi's presence has often been seen as a vital support system for Danielle. However, recent developments and candid admissions by Danielle herself have shown a different light on the nature of their bond. In what may come as a surprise to longtime fans, Danielle has openly acknowledged that her relationship with Grandma Mimi had become unhealthy over time, and that she was forced to set firm boundaries for the sake of her mental health, her family's well-being, and her own personal growth. This revelation has sparked a larger conversation among fans of the show, and even parenting experts, about the complexities of adult parent-child relationships, especially when the lines between emotional support and dependency become blurred. In Danielle's case, the journey toward recognizing the unhealthy aspects of her bond with her mother was not an easy one. It required introspection, courage, and the willingness to disrupt a long-standing dynamic in favor of healthier patterns. The close-knit relationship. Danielle and her mother have always had a close connection, one that many viewers of OutDaughtered admired. Mimi was often seen helping out with the quintuplets and being involved in nearly every major event in the Busby household. Whether it was birthday parties, school functions, or emergencies, she was always there, often taking on roles that extended beyond that of a typical grandparent. This kind of hands-on involvement, while helpful on the surface, began to raise questions behind the scenes as to how dependent the two women had become on one another. Danielle has acknowledged that for years she leaned heavily on her mother for both emotional support and logistical help. After giving birth to 5 babies at once, Danielle understandably faced overwhelming stress and a demanding schedule. Mimi filled a gap that many young mothers wish they had, a family member who could be counted on at any moment. But over time, the close involvement created an entangled emotional dynamic that started to take a toll. When support becomes overbearing. As the Busby children grew older, and Danielle began to step into new business ventures, including her boutique Grace & B and health and wellness projects, she started to become more aware of how much influence her mother had over her life. In candid interviews and subtle cues on social media, Danielle admitted that she often felt torn between honoring her mother's opinions and asserting her own independence. There were instances where Mimi's advice felt less like guidance and more like control, especially when it came to parenting decisions, business matters, and household routines. Danielle explained that she reached a point where she realized her reliance on her mother wasn't just about help anymore. It had become a pattern where she second-guessed her instincts and prioritized keeping peace with Mimi over setting clear boundaries. That emotional trade-off started to affect her confidence and even her marriage. Adam Busby, while respectful and supportive of his mother-in-law, also recognized the imbalance. He expressed concern that Danielle often felt pressure to accommodate Mimi, even when it conflicted with their shared goals or parenting plans. While there was no open conflict, the undercurrent of tension was there, and it became more pronounced as the family faced new challenges and sought more autonomy. The turning point. The shift in Danielle's thinking reportedly began after Mimi faced personal issues of her own. Legal troubles and personal setbacks took a toll on Mimi's own stability, and Danielle found herself in the position of not only managing her own household, but also trying to emotionally carry her mother through tough times. Danielle recognized that the dynamic had flipped. What once was mutual support had become an emotional burden. She was no longer just receiving help from her mother. She was absorbing Mimi's struggles as her own. This imbalance, combined with the stress of raising 6 daughters, running businesses, and maintaining her own health, led Danielle to reconsider how involved her mother should be in their daily lives. She began therapy and leaned on her faith and her support system to unpack the complicated emotions that came with needing to draw boundaries with someone she loved deeply. In interviews and blog posts, Danielle has spoken openly about the guilt that often accompanies boundary setting, especially when it involves a parent. Setting healthy boundaries. Setting boundaries did not mean cutting off the relationship. Rather, Danielle explained that it was about defining what was acceptable and what was no longer sustainable. She began limiting the frequency of Mimi's involvement in day-to-day parenting tasks, reassessing her role in business decisions, and carving out emotional space that allowed Danielle to make independent choices without pressure. She also emphasized the importance of having those conversations in a way that was firm but respectful. Danielle shared that she sat down with her mother and explained that while she loved her and valued her input, she needed to make decisions based on what was best for her nuclear family. It was a tough talk, filled with emotion, but necessary. Mimi's initial reaction was reportedly one of hurt and confusion. Being such a constant presence in her daughter and grandchildren's lives, the change felt jarring. But over time, she began to understand the intention behind the boundaries and eventually accepted the new terms of engagement. She still sees the kids and is involved in family events, but with clearer expectations and defined limits. Public response and fan reactions. The revelation from Danielle sparked a range of reactions from fans. Some were surprised, having seen Mimi as a beloved figure on the show. Others, particularly mothers and daughters in similar situations, related deeply to the struggle. Many applauded Danielle's honesty and bravery in addressing such a personal and potentially divisive topic on a public platform. Discussions across forums, fan pages, and parenting blogs highlighted just how common these situations are. The transition from a dependent adult child to an autonomous parent often challenges long-standing family dynamics, and few people talk about it openly. Danielle's story brought that conversation into the light. Some fans voiced concern for Mimi, expressing hope that she felt valued and not rejected. Danielle responded by reassuring fans that her mother remains a cherished part of their lives, and that the decision was made out of love, not resentment. She emphasized that setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting someone out. It means preserving the relationship by preventing burnout, conflict, and resentment from building up. Lessons and growth. Danielle's journey has become a teaching moment not just for viewers, but also for those navigating similar family structures. She's spoken about the importance of self-awareness, emotional independence, and respectful communication in maintaining healthy relationships. Her focus now is on nurturing her immediate family, supporting her daughters as they grow into young women, and strengthening her marriage. She also encourages other women, particularly mothers, to evaluate their relationships and ask themselves hard questions. Is this support system actually supportive, or is it draining? Are you making choices based on your values or someone else's expectations? Are you afraid to assert yourself because of how someone might react? For Danielle, the answers to those questions didn't come overnight. They came from years of navigating the highs and lows of motherhood under the public eye and learning to trust her instincts. Moving forward. As of now, the Busby family continues to thrive. The quintuplets are growing quickly, each developing distinct personalities and interests. Blayke is stepping into her own role as the big sister and role model. Danielle and Adam remain strong in their partnership, showing the kind of teamwork and resilience that has kept their family grounded. Mimi is still very much in their lives, but in a healthier, more balanced way. The mutual love and respect remain, but the relationship now includes boundaries that allow everyone to breathe.